Hi, I'm Quinton Cooper, Executive Chef of the Four Seasons Mumbai. Today we're looking at pizzas, more specifically gourmet pizzas. So for the budding gourmet viewers at home, we're going to teach you how to make gourmet pizzas yourself. So we're going to start with that. First of all, we start with a good quality white flour, a little bit of sugar, some dry yeast, some little bit of salt, and a good virgin olive oil. So we place the flour into the bowl. We make a small well in the center where we'll put all the rest of the ingredients. Next we go with the yeast. This is a dry yeast. You can also use a fresh yeast. Obviously with the dry yeast it's quite strong, so if you're using a fresh yeast you'd have to use double the quantity. With yeast it's also a living organism, so it needs a few things to help it grow or to prove. With that we need food, moisture and warmth. So to that we add sugar as the food. And the water, we add it should be tepid, room temperature, and that'll give it that warmth to let the yeast grow. To that we add a pinch of salt and a dash of extra virgin olive oil. Then just mix it with your hands from the inside out to make a small slurry, and slowly incorporate the flour from the outside to make a nice dough. If it's a little bit dry, you can always add a little bit more water just to get it to a nice springy dough consistency. Just a dash more. So once you've got it to this heavy crumb stage, we can turn it out onto the bench and the fun start begins. Now you want to knead it, just incorporate all the leftover flour and get it mixed into a nice dough. It'll take a few minutes, a lot of good arm power, but in the end it'll be worth it. Basically what you're doing here is you're developing the gluten bonds in the flour. So the more you work it, the stronger the bonds will become, and it'll become very elasticy, and that gives you the strength for your pizza base. So you need to work it for about 10-15 minutes. Once it's got to a ball shape, we can put it on the side to rest. Because it's got the yeast needs to grow. So we'll leave it on the side in a warm place for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll have a look at it. Okay, so now after 60 minutes, you'll notice it's doubled in size. That's the yeast growing. So we'll take the same dough and just knock all the air back out of it, make like a sausage shape. And from that we'll take the portions for our pizza dough. So out of that we should get 4 pizzas easily. It's important to make a ball out of it because when you're rolling it, it'll keep the shape a lot easier. Right. From that we need quite a liberal dusting of flour on your bench so that it doesn't stick. Flatten it out. Grab yourself a nice heavy pin and we start rolling. Do it similar to when you do a chapati at home. Just keep rolling it, slowly expanding the circle bigger and bigger. And again, make sure there's enough flour on it. It makes it a lot easier to roll. Just add a dusting more when you need it, when it's starting to stick. Just finish it off, just round it off so it's a nice circle. Now with the pizza dough, you can roll it out, use it directly, or you can roll it out and partially bake it, and you can store those in the chiller for up to 3 to 4 days for future use. So if you make a decent sized recipe, you don't have to eat it all at once. And there you go, there's the start of your gourmet pizza.